Hi everyone, this is Karen from OHC. Welcome to A Taste of Foundation. And with us is our holistic coach from New York, Daniel Tuttle, and
Hi
from the
guys.
Foundation. Hey, Daniel.
For those of you guys who are joining us, just so you know, Karen is there with an amazing little intimate audience there who will be participating in our event today as well. So everybody say hi, say ho, as Junie says. Okay, so welcome to A Taste of the Foundation class. We are really excited to be here together and to share these amazing tools with you. I would like to actually tap in to your energy, and I'd love to hear, is there anybody here who does not know Access Consciousness, who has never taken an Access Consciousness class? Okay. Never taken Access Consciousness class, never heard of Access Consciousness, or maybe you have heard of. I love when we get to introduce new people to Access Consciousness. So let me just speak about Access Consciousness first, what Access Consciousness is, what it is not, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay. So the thing that you need to know about Access is that Access is not a spiritual modality. Okay. It is not a new wave cult. It is not a self-help group. It is a body of tools. We have I think it's over 8,000 tools in Access Consciousness. Access Consciousness is, these tools are tools to empower people to know what they know, to empower people to know themselves. All right. And Access is for everyone. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what your religious background is, your spiritual background is. Access Consciousness is for everyone. And I think the most important place for us to start is with Gary Douglas's definition of what consciousness is. Okay? Consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. I'll say it again. Consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. Consciousness is complete allowance. It is complete beingness. It is complete oneness. Now, all of those things right now, as I share them with you, they may seem a little esoteric or out there, but we're going to kind of unpack all of that stuff. So what we know about Access, or what I can share with you about Access Consciousness, is that, these tools were actually given to Gary Douglas. Okay, they were channeled through Gary Douglas. And I have to tell you Gary's story, because Gary to me is the heart and soul of Access. And I love him so much. He's like a grandfather to me. I should say he's really more of like a father to me, because I'm not that young. But he really has that spirit about him that he really is looking out for and protecting and empowering everybody. He really has no point of view about anything. He is completely undefinable. And so, but it wasn't always like this for Gary. Okay. Most of Gary's life, he kind of struggled through different pathways, different jobs, different things. But he was always, one of the things that he always kind of denied or didn't give much attention to, is that he was always super psychic. Okay. So he would do little psychic readings here and there on the side, or when people would hear about what he does, he would come and whatever. And Gary was also very much into learning about metaphysics and all that kind of stuff. So it all was kind of a part of his universe, this energy, this world of energy. Okay. And one day, Gary had a friend. He received a phone call from a friend who was a massage therapist in New York City. I think Gary was living in Southern California or something at the time, but this massage therapist lived in New York City. And this massage therapist had been working on a very, very powerful Wall Street executive. The Wall Street executive was going through a tremendous amount of stress. He just was so wound up. He had all different kinds of things going on in his body. He couldn't sleep. And so every day he would hire this massage therapist to come help him try to relax, to unwind, and whatever. The massage therapist had been working with this gentleman for quite some time, and nothing was working. And so out of the blue, the massage therapist called his friend Gary Douglas and said, hey, listen, I really want to be able to help this guy, and I just feel like you can help him. I can't help him. I don't know what to do. Would you be willing to fly out to New York to have a session with him? And Gary was like, okay, but what will I do? Like, you want me to give him a psychic reading or something? And the guy was like, I don't know. You can just feel his energy. You can be in the room with me or whatever. So the executive flew Gary out to New York. And so at that session, that first session, the massage therapist was working on the man. Gary was asking the guy some questions, and he was sharing a little bit about his life. And then all of a sudden, Gary felt compelled to start touching his head. And so Gary moved his chair behind the man, and he sat at the foot of the man where his head was. And Gary just naturally allowed this energy to direct him to the guy's head. So he started to touch the guy's head. And he started to touch the guy's head in different places. And then he would just kind of he saw that the guy's brain was like a computer screen. And you know, when you have the computer screen and everything is all like everywhere all at once, is la, 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 la. And he just saw all of these things in the guy's brain becoming quieter and quieter and quieter. He saw more space. And with every single place that he would move his hands on the guy's head. And so Gary explains that what it looked like to him is it looked like bars that had you chained up in jail. And Gary said that the energy that he perceived from this man is that this man was trapped in his head. And so Gary continued to follow his knowing of different places on the head to touch the man's head. And then all of a sudden, the guy fell asleep. And the massage therapist looks at Gary. Gary looks at the massage therapist. The massage therapist goes, what are you doing? And Gary goes, I don't know. And so the man fell asleep, and they decided to leave him there. So the next day, the man called his massage therapist, and he says, I don't know what that guy did to me, but I have never felt more relaxed in my life. I've never felt more at peace. Can you please ask him to come back? And so every day for about a week, Gary would go work on this man. And every day he would see those bars, those spots on his head, and he would touch them in a certain order, and the guy would fall asleep every day. Every day. So Gary left this exchange with this man, and he said, the man finally told Gary, he said, I have no words to express my gratitude to you for what you've done for me. He said, you allowed me and you gave me the space to be able to rest and relax and kind of process things. And so Gary knew then and there that he had something that he needed to share with the world, right? So from that place, Gary started to go to different holistic fairs and different wellness fairs. And he started to kind of download that which we know to now be the Access bars. Okay, the Access bars were the first tool of Access consciousness that came to be. That is why before you take any course in Access consciousness, almost any course, I think there are a few specialties you don't have to have bars for, but before you take almost any course, you have to have the Access bars class. The reason is that in almost all of our classes, Gary encourages us to exchange bars sessions in the class, because so much comes up in your head that when you do the bars, it kind of allows you to be expansive and it allows you to receive more of what it is we're talking about in class. So for the next 10 years, Gary started to teach the bars in different places. He started to empower people to also practice the bars, what have you. And during that time, Gary received a message that he should have some people over. He should invite some people over and teach a class. So Gary said to his guides and his spirit guides and his masters, like, well, what am I going to teach them? And the message he received was, just ask them questions. And Gary was like, well, what kind of questions am I going to ask them? And then he heard, no, let them ask you questions. Just let them ask you questions. And so Gary goes, okay, whatever. And Gary at this time had been channeling an energy called Rasputin. And so he had called a bunch of friends to his house for this workshop, this class. So he called them over to have this class, and he sat there in the living room and he said, okay, ask me questions. And they're like, about what? And he's like, about your life. And so they started to ask him questions. And from those questions in those classes that Gary started to facilitate, that became the beginning of the body of consciousness, the body of work that we call Access Consciousness. That's where all these tools began to come from. It's very important that I share that with you, because what will happen is in every Access Consciousness class you come into, that will be the setup, right? You will have a manual in which you will go through, like, for example, in the foundation, it's a really, really beautiful, powerful manual with like 80 pages worth of tools. However, we don't actually go through the manual one by one by one. We actually ask questions about what's going on in your life or what's coming up for you. And I, as the facilitator, get to kind of use the Access tools to help you to create a different and a greater reality around whatever it is that you're going with, whatever it is that's going on in your life. Okay, so back to Access. So Access, then all of a sudden, you know, Gary was doing this with all these people and what have you. Gary's daughter Shannon was out there doing Access Bars sessions for people and was living in Santa Barbara. And one day Shannon put an ad out there into the classifieds that says, and in the ad, all she wrote is, all of life comes to us with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. For more information, call Shannon. So this guy, this chiropractor, Dr. Dane here, sees this ad. And at the time, the story goes that Dane was really ready to commit suicide. He had been abused for much of his life. He had felt like he was on the path to nowhere. He felt like he was not getting anywhere in his relationships. And he wasn't really happening. Like, nothing was really happening for him. And so he saw this ad in the newspaper that said, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. For a good time, or for more, call Shannon. So curiously, what Dane did is Dane called her and said, what is this? And she goes, oh, I do Access Bars sessions. And he goes, what's that? And she goes, well, come in and figure it out. So Dane goes in and has an experience just like that man back in New York, that it completely changes his life in one session. And he went back regularly. And Dane said, I don't know what you're doing, but I need to do this. I need this in my life. I need to be able to share this with my patients and my clients. And Shannon goes, you should call my dad. You and my dad would get along really well. And so he put them in touch. And so too became the beginning of what we know to be Access Consciousness. It was when Dane came on board that all of a sudden these tools really started to spread globally. Okay, so as that started to happen, different things were revealed, right? Different classes were revealed. There was a level 1, 2, and 3 class and a choice of and all these classes, which now have kind of formed into that which we call the foundation course. Okay. The foundation course is what we're going to talk about. We're going to spend the rest of our time today talking about. The foundation course is 3 days long, 3.5 days long. Okay. 3.5 days long. And it's really, really, really a very, I hate to even call it a class, because for me, it's not a class. It's an experience. It is something in which, just as you would invest in going to the spa for 3 days to have a reset. For me, or vacation, for me, when you invest in the Access Consciousness Foundation class, you're investing in your well-being beyond what you could ever imagine. Okay. And you sign up and you come to that course, and I know it's expensive. We all know it's expensive. But the question that you need to first start and ask yourself is, am I worth it? Do I value myself enough to dedicate this time and this energy and this money into this investment into me that is going to change my life and my reality? Okay, so one of the tools that I will share with all of you that you'll first of all learn in the Access Bars class, for those of you who are new, is what we call the clearing statement. Okay, the clearing statement is one of those tools that doesn't make much sense, but creates a lot. I just put the link in the chat box for you. You can learn about the clearing statement at theclearingstatement.com. I'm not going to go through it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce it to you because I'd like for you to get a taste of what it feels like. Okay, the clearing statement is very, very simple. It is right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Okay, again, Karen, maybe you could write that in the chat box for me if you can. I don't know if you have your computer on you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9, shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Okay, now, what I can tell you about that is it doesn't make sense. And it's not meant to make sense, because what it does is it takes all of these points of views and the judgments that you have, or the things that come up in your life, and it kind of does this thing with the brain where it goes, you know, a snow globe where you go, and then all the snow comes up and then the snow settles down, right? Every time you use the clearing statement, it's like the snow globe. And you go, oh, what's going on? And then the dust settles and you're like, oh, pretty scenery, right? That's what the clearing statement is. The clearing statement just does this thing to your subconscious mind, the beingness of who you are, and just kind of eliminates and eradicates all of that yuck stuck in what the fuck, we call it. Okay? Yuck stuck in what the fuck. All of that stuff that comes up, we use the clearing statement, shake it up, let it go, and then you have a little bit more space with whatever it is that comes up. So I'm going to give you an example of it, but I need your help. I would like for you to tell me, first of all, what you would like to get out of an Access Consciousness class. What would you like to get out of an Access Consciousness class? You can either raise your hand, you can write it in the chat box. I really would like to interact with you and hear from you. So if you don't mind, if you could unmute yourself and just, or raise your hand and come forward, whatever feels light for you.
Right now. What? Ikaw, kayo. What? Ay, go ask for
What do you want from your life, my dear? What do you want? What do you perceive that Access Consciousness could contribute to in your life?
Ease.
What does that mean? What does that mean for you?
Oh my gosh, lightness.
Lightness.
Yeah.
Where in your life do you not have lightness?
I work.
At work? Yeah. So you would like to have some more space, some more ease with work. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And what do you perceive as blocking you from having that?
Walking back.
Yeah. Why don't you have ease? Why don't you just choose to have ease at work?
Yeah, I actually today I already chose because I'm already attracting a new work environment. So I finally made the choice.
Amazing.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
And
Um,
how do you feel about that?
Excited and happy. I can't wait
Okay.
to
And
get
what else is beyond
there.
that? What else is beyond that? What do you perceive that this shift is going to change for you in your life?
I'm gonna get more freedom again.
More freedom.
Yeah, in terms of how I spend, or in terms of having more time, more space, more
Mhm.
opportunities for me.
Okay, cool. So do you guys all notice how all of a sudden what she has done is she said, I'm going to leave my job and it's going to create this for me, right? That's awesome. And I would never, ever, ever take that away from you. Nobody will ever take that away from you. But what if there was more that was available to you that you haven't considered yet? So anything and everything that doesn't allow you to have more than what you've already decided is possible for
Open
you, can we destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
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 Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. And so what is available now? What are the infinite possibilities that you could be choosing that you aren't willing to see, that if you did see would absolutely blow your mind and completely shift your reality for good? That. Can we destroy and uncreate whatever that doesn't allow that?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds.
Yeah.
You guys see what happens is we lock ourselves up, right? You know, I've created this fucking awesome life for myself, okay? But my life wasn't always as fucking awesome as it is now, okay? I have the most amazing partner in the world, okay? I travel all over the world. I get to teach these tools. I get to meet people. I love people. I get to be all that I want to be. I get to be who I am. I get to express myself. I get to choose anything and everything that I want. And every single day, I wake up and I ask myself, if there was no yesterday, what would I create and choose for myself today? If there was no past, who would I be? Do you feel that energy? That is one of the tools that I want you guys to start to begin to implement into your life until I see you in the foundation class next month. You can also simplify it in this nice, kind way. Who am I today, and what grand and glorious adventures await me? Who am I today, and what grand and glorious adventures await me? Now, here's the deal. You guys have noticed what I've started to do is I've started to ask you some questions. Okay? And asking questions is access consciousness. Do you notice that I am not answering your questions? I'm not saying, well, okay, dear, this is what you should do. And you should write this person and do that person. And you should find a job interview and you should meet a hedge hunter and you should do this and you should do that. Fuck that. Because you know what? We've been trying to do that all our lives. And it doesn't work. It gets us this far, when we could be getting, how do I show it? This far, which is infinite, right? As the energy unfolds and unwinds and gives birth to more, everything is possible. When we ask questions, we are given choices. When we are given choices, with every single choice is a new opportunity. with every single choice is a new possibility. And when I have a new possibility, the world opens up for me. Now, here's the deal. I know many of you are going to say, well, I love choice, but sometimes it overwhelms me. Sometimes I have too many choices. And I sit there and I do nothing. If any of you are Libras, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You look at it. There you go. Here we go. Psychic as fuck. What can I say? Here you go. Here you have the menu with all these choices that you get to make. And you go, could you just order for me? Because it's too much for you. You want somebody else to do it. You want somebody else to make the choices for you. No. Today you start choosing, no matter what. Okay? When you start choosing, you start creating your life. And when you create your life, guess what happens? You might make a choice that you don't like. But guess what? You get to make another one. Immediately. You don't have to say, oh, I don't know. Maybe this is the job that I want, but I don't know. Maybe that one is, maybe that one. Okay, oh God, I don't know. I'm just going to choose this one. And you get into that job and you're there for a week, 10 days, maybe 10 years. You're like, this is not the fucking job that I thought that I deserve. And you go, hey, what else is possible here that I have never considered before? And the universe goes, oh, hey, I have some ideas for you. Let me show you. And you go, oh, look at that choice and that choice and that choice. And which is going to lead me to the second tool that I'm going to give you guys today. And then my dear Eloisa and Natasha, we're going to come back to your beautiful, beautiful shares. The second tool I want to introduce to you today when you're making choices is the tool in which you will learn in your bars class. It's called light and heavy. Okay? You will know that in Access Consciousness, we really, really never, ever use the words good or bad or right or wrong. Because good or bad and right and wrong is a judgment. It's a solidification. It's a conclusion. It's a decision. Whenever you've decided that something is good or bad or right or wrong, you have made it so. But you know what? Here's the thing. Those things in your life that you love, I may hate. And the things in my life that I love, you may hate. So we all have a different point of view or a different awareness of good or bad and right and wrong. But what if there was no attachment to it and it was just the energy that's behind it? The energy behind it is it light or is it heavy for me? Right? Here, I have a glass of water and a cup of coffee. I can tap into the energy of it. I have a choice to make. I'm going to drink coffee or drink water. Just tap into the energy. What is lightest? Oh, okay. In these 10 seconds, it's the water. My brain wanted coffee. My brain said, give me more coffee. Right? But the energy, following the energy, the lightness was, oh, water. Every single choice that you make has contained within it the energy of lightness or heaviness. Follow the lightness. Okay, the more lightness you follow, the more expansive your world can be. When your world is expansive, an infinite amount of opportunity exists for you. Okay? How was that for you? Did you perceive some of that movement in your universe? Okay, awesome. I want to actually invite Natasha. Natasha, can you unmute yourself for me, my love?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Karen.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just a little stressed out because we don't have staff at home and I have 4 dogs and 7 puppies. So cleaning the house, being OC is really like getting to me
Going a
now.
little crazy, huh? Yeah. What are you asking for, my dear?
So I'm asking for the universe to send me people who can help me clean the house, cook for me and my dad
You're looking for help, right?
for help.
Can I ask you something, Natasha? Truth, is it hard for you to receive?
Yes.
Yeah. The thing is about you, my love, is that you're such a giver. I can tell. You put yourself out there and you want to help everybody.
And it's
But when it
suffocating.
comes, yeah, of course. I will never take that away from you. I do too, actually. The thing that I want you to get, though, sweetheart, is that to the degree that you want to help the world and save the world, you've got to be willing to receive that same amount of energy. Okay? What if what was blocking you was just your unwillingness to receive? I feel like you're one of those people that's like, if you ask somebody to do something, they do it, and then you go, it wasn't really up to my standard. I might as well do it myself. Right? I know. Me too. So everything that is times a godzillion, can we just destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. And what if, Natasha, all of a sudden today, your willingness to receive that which you are asking for was exponentialized in your life with complete ease? Would you be willing to receive that? Yeah.
Yes.
Everything that doesn't allow that, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. You know, let me run this one on you. So all of the conclusions, projections, expectations, conclusions, separations, and judgments that you have about allowing people into your life, about the energy of allowance, can we please just destroy and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, and beyonds. I hear your subconscious saying, well, I need the right person. I need the right people, right?
Yeah.
And what's so funny is oftentimes the right people are also the heaviest people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I really, really, really want to encourage you to use the light and heavy tool when you start to interview people to work with you. Okay? Really. Now, here's something else you can do. And this is for all of you guys. This and this are not separate. Okay? Your head is screwed to your body for a reason. However, we all go, my head knows better than my body. We treat our body like it's like a piece of garbage. But they're one actual being. Our body and our head are actually one being. You know how when you walk into a room and the energy is like, ugh.
Yeah.
Your body, maybe your stomach goes, oh God, I'm all of a sudden feeling really nauseous. Right? Or all of a sudden you feel dizzy. And you're like, oh, I gotta sit down. You go into this place of making yourself wrong for feeling that way. You often go, why do I feel this way? Oh, I don't know what this is. Well, it's because you're a bundle of energy that's picking up energy all the time. Right? You're always picking up energy everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, 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 everywhere you go. You don't even know where it comes from. Here's the deal. It's not important that you know where it comes from, just that you know that that energy is not yours. Okay? So one of the tools, Karen, you can write this one down. One of the tools that we use is, who does this belong to? Exactly. Who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? Who does this belong to? When you tap into that energy of who does this belong to, you say return to sender with consciousness attached. Now, return to sender with consciousness attached doesn't mean you're sending it to the person. It means you're sending it back to the source. When you send it back to the universe knows what to do with it. Remember, energy itself has no attachment to being good or bad or right or wrong. We are the ones that place that. We are the ones that make it positive or negative or any of that crap. So I want to go back to you, my dear, and the people that want to come and help you take care of your life and your children and your family and all those animals that you have, right? I want you to begin to interview people with your body, not just your head, because your head has a lot of judgments involved. Okay, my love? I want you to get into your body. And when you're interviewing someone, whether it's on the phone or online or even in person, I want you to ask your body to yourself, body, would this person be a contribution to our space, to our home, and to our environment? And if your body goes, ooh, kind of expands, you go, oh yeah, okay, body, my body actually likes the energy of this person, right? My body actually likes what this person may be able to offer us. But if your body goes, "Eh," then you go, oh yeah, body does not feel this energy, is not really going to be a contribution to us. Okay. You could also do this. Something just popped for me. Again, remember, everything is energy. Because everything is energy. You might think I'm a little cuckoo here, but I talk to everything. Okay. So for example, when I walked into this beautiful, beautiful English Airbnb, I said, wow, this place has so much energy. Some of it from other people that were here before me, maybe the owners. And I said, oh, okay. Energy, beings of light. You can go now. I'm here. I just ask. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being. Thank you for all that you've contributed. I'm here now, and I'd like to create a new space. Because as long as I am paying for this place, guess what? It's mine. So now it's my domain. So I come in and I say, oh, hello, beautiful, beautiful English space. You're going to be my home. Would you like to be my home? I ask it questions. Would you like to be my home? And the space goes, oh, yeah, I want to be your home. And I go, okay, cool. And then I go into the bedroom and there's a bed, a beautiful bed. And I say, bed, would you like to be comfy? Would you like to be nurturing? Would you like to be playful? Would you like to be exciting? And the bed goes, sure, I'll be those energies. And then I awaken those energies in it. And then I ask the walls, would you like to protect us? Would you like to keep us safe? And the walls go, yes, we love that purpose. So when we start to engage the energy in the atoms and molecules around us in everything, we change everything. We change absolutely everything, Natasha. Okay. So the other thing that I would like to contribute to you to help you with this particular situation is I'd like for you to ask your animals, your space, to bring the person into your life that's going to create the most ease for you. Say, guys, here's the deal. I'm exhausted. I need some help. Would you guys please be willing to bring in and call in the right person or people to help us manage our home? And you might think that they're going to look at you like you're nuts. You don't have to say this out loud. You can. If they're animals or whatever, say it out loud, because the animals will be like, woof, 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 woof. Okay, okay, okay. Right. But what happens is then their energy shifts and their energy becomes a broadcaster that says, who wants to play with me? Who wants to play with me? Who wants to play with me? And then all of a sudden, what you're going to start to see, Natasha, are all of these people that are going to come into your life. And you're going to go, oh, wow, now all of a sudden, everybody wants to work for me. Okay. So there are different ways that you can shift how you're going about finding the right help for you. Did that answer some of your questions, sweetheart? Good. Good. Anything you want to add to that? So first of all, anything and everything that doesn't allow you to be the space, the energy, and the contribution for you to receive everything that you're asking for, including help, including money, including inspiration. Can we please just destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Great. Great, great, great. Okay. Who else has a question? There was somebody else. Eloisa.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, my dear. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just was just grateful to be here. Thanks to
Oh,
Karen. And thanks
of
to
course.
you.
Thank you. And yeah, I know, thanks to Karen. Karen is a potent manifester. She's a potent actualizer. She creates things in this world. And you know what I say to that? I say, I want some of that. I want more of that in my life. I want more people like Karen who are creators, who are doers, who are connectors in my life. So there, I just said it. Okay, Eloisa, talk to me a little bit, my love. What's going on in your universe?
My universe is like well, actually I am a solo parent and I am a free spirit, but then I feel like there's a lot of blockages. Like I feel there's a higher purpose to life, but then sometimes you just get stuck with the mundane. So you have to, and then I get frustrated because there's always higher purpose, but at the end of
Eloisa,
it,
pause.
no.
Pause 1 second, my dear. What if the purpose of life was just to have fun?
Actually, that's my problem. I actually, honestly, I'm more of a very serious person.
I know, I can tell.
I tend
Could
to
you
think
please
a
give that
lot.
up? Could you please give that up? What do you
Sure.
get from being so serious? What do you get from making everything so significant in your life?
I get things done, and I get things to, I get to accomplish and fulfill things, implement things.
Oh my God. Everything that is times a godzillion. Can we please destroy and uncreate it now?
Sure.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Did you guys see what Eloisa did? She did what we all do. She did what we all do. We go, well, I am this way because I get things done. I'm powerful. I'm this, I'm that. I'm a single mom. Therefore, I have to be this and I have to do that. All of that is reasoning and justification. Okay?
Correct.
So because she's bought that as her reality, she then goes, well, I have to be serious. Okay, Eloisa, I'm giving you this. I hope that you'll play with this. I really, I hope you'll play it over and over again, because I want you to know something. I'm going to
Yes.
run it with you. Everywhere you've decided that the only way for you to be all those energies that you require
Yes.
by judging yourself, by validating yourself, by excusing yourself from the real life that you want to live. Can we please revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it now?
Definitely.
Thank you. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. Exactly, my dear. Okay, here's the deal. What if you could actually have more by just relaxing?
Yeah, at the back of my mind, I know that.
Yeah.
So actually, I know that if I just come from a place of happiness, of joy, of peace, of flow, I know that there are magical things there are unseen hands that
Yeah.
help me. Because when I recall my life, as if I feel like I don't really have that. I mean, I know that there's a lot of help from the invisible helpers.
Yeah, from the universe, right? Consciousness has your back, honey. Okay. One
That's
of the
right.
things that I'd like to also share with you. Here's the deal, sweetie. You can no, no, and no, and no, and no, and no, and no, and no. But if you're unwilling to choose it, we got a problem.
Correct.
Okay. So it can
Yes.
sit back there, or it can sit in a book, and it can be like, wow, this is amazing stuff. Right? But
That's
if we
right.
don't apply it to our lives, if we don't actually take the action to choose greater for ourselves, it's actually going to become what we call a dis-ease, a disease. That's where cancer comes from. That's where all those things that happen in our body that lock us up in our body, because there's a lack of light. There's a lack of consciousness. There's a lack of space. Now is the space is now. So you can choose relaxation now, or you can choose relaxation when you're forced to relax. What would you like to choose?
Of course, when you have the choice, right? I mean, to enjoy the relaxation,
Yeah,
not when you're forced to.
exactly, my love. So everything and anything that doesn't allow you to be relaxed, to be the space of relaxation all the time, no matter what is going on in our life, in your life, anywhere, can we please destroy and uncreate it?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and puck, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyonds. You know, a lot of people, they look at me and they go, you're like the Energizer Bunny. You just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. Last night, I was teaching a class in China from 1 a.m. until 9 a.m. You keep going and going and going and going and going. And they say to me, you come here and you talk about relaxation, but you work so much, you work so hard, you work so crazy. The answer is that for me, this is relaxing. For me, it's very, very, very light and very relaxing when my beautiful friend Karen says, hey, Daniel, do you want to come hang out with us? Do you want to come and hang out in our community? Do you want to come and share some of these tools? I go, yes. For me, that's fun. And I have asked every single morning, what fun can I have today? What grand and glorious adventures await me today that I never knew was possible? And what fun can I have with those adventures? So yes, I may be tired and I may not have gotten enough sleep, but I say to my body, let's create the time and the space so that we can have that rest, so that we can have that relaxation and that rejuvenation. But I don't want to miss out on having any fun. So everywhere we've decided that one excludes the other, meaning that you can't have fun and be relaxed, or that you can't be productive and have fun, or that you can't have relaxation while you're working. Can we please destroy and uncreate those things? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, povats, and beyonds. Eloisa, my dear, please choose. Your home play, until I see you in the foundation class, is to play and to ask every single day, universe, what is available for me that if I just chose to play, my life would change instantly? Okay.
That's wonderful.
You are welcome. Write that down, okay,
Thank
my
you.
dear? You're so
Yes.
welcome. You are so, so welcome. Anybody else want to contribute something? I feel Jack's energy pulling me. Jack, what's going on over there? Jack, what is marinating in your universe over there?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just working on my billing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, I think you and I have we have many, many things in common, but I think we have one thing very much in common. You know what that is?
Say it.
Money.
Woo!
We like money. Huh?
True, true.
Anybody else like money?
Hey.
Yay!
We
So
all
everything, you know what? I'm just teasing you. I'm teasing you all about money because you know what? I want to share a personal story with you about how Access Consciousness changed my life. And it changed my life in a way that I was never prepared for. Okay. So this is probably a good place to end today too. So I came to well, first of all, I did the bars class. I did the bars class in Israel ages ago, right? And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I like these tools. These tools are cool. And so I used them. I became a bars facilitator, but I was also into other modalities at the time that were taking most of my time. And so I never really thought about taking the foundation course. And quite frankly, I was one of those people that was like, this is so expensive. And by the way, it was half the price that it is now. And so I was like, this is so expensive. Like, I don't know. I don't really, really require that in my life yet. So I just did bars for like 3 years, right? And then finally, in the middle of the pandemic, somebody said, hey, you know what? I'm going to host a foundation class at my house in the Hamptons on the ocean. And I'm going to make it like a retreat because we all have to shelter in place. So I'm going to invite you for the week. Think of it as a holiday. Think of it as relaxation. She's like, all the food is included. These facilitators are really, really amazing. She's like, would you like to choose it? And I did not hesitate. There was something that was so light about that. And I was like, done, let's do it. And I had experienced a huge boom in my cash flows during the pandemic because my client base, you know, I see clients individually one-on-one. Because of the pandemic, all of a sudden everybody, like I was booked nonstop. So I had session after session after session after session. Anyway, so I didn't wrestle with the money. I did wrestle with a little bit with like that moment where you transfer that $1,600. I was like, but then it was done. It was done. I was like, okay, this is cool. So then I got into the class. And I got into the class and I had all these projections and expectations about what the class was going to do for me, what I was going to gain from the class, what I was going to learn from the class. And every single time I had to outcreate what I thought I was going to get. And every single time I began to become more spacious with what I was receiving, it all kind of started to expand in my world. I'm going to say it started to make sense, but it didn't make sense the way that we compute making sense. It was just like so light. So I remember the last day of the foundation class, and we were sitting there, and the facilitators, we had two really, really amazing facilitators. They go, do you guys have any questions? And I said, yeah. How do I facilitate this class? I don't know what happened to me in the last 4 days. I have no idea what happened to me. But what I can tell you is that I need to teach this class. I need to go out there and everybody needs to know these tools. And so the facilitator, she goes, well, you know, it's quite a process. It takes a long time. And I was like, what is it? She says, well, you have to become a CF. And she says, and to become a CF, you have to do this class, this class, this class, this class, and this class. And then you have to do all these telecalls. And then you have to do this and this and this and this and this. And you have to teach these many bars classes and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, what's next? She goes, well, there's a choice of possibilities class this weekend with Simone online. And then there's a class with Dane. There's 2 classes with Dane in Istanbul. I was in New York at the time. There's 2 classes in Istanbul with Dane back to back, the energetic synthesis of being and the symphony of possibilities. She's like, well, you could start there. And I was like, no way. Within a few days, I signed up for all of them. I did the choice of possibilities with my friend in her apartment online with Simone. I finished that, booked a flight to Istanbul. You think the foundation was expensive? Oh my God. Can you imagine what started happening to me? I all of a sudden wanted to give money, throw my money over to these access classes because they were creating so much change in my life. So I went to Istanbul. I met Dr. Dane. I did the ESV. I did the SOP. I wanted more. You know what started to happen to me? My business started to exponentialize for no reason. It didn't make sense. All of a sudden, people were coming to my classes. All of a sudden, more people were coming to my sessions. I got an awareness. I needed to raise my rates. I raised my session rates from $200 to $250 at the time. That's a big jump. When I raised my rates, all of a sudden, even more people came to see me. I was like, what the hell is going on? The only shift that I had made in my life was that I started choosing the tools of access consciousness. So then I started to do more and 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 more. Within 6 months, I was a CF. When I became a CF, I had all these points of views and conclusions and expectations. I just thought that everybody was just going to show up to my foundation class. That's not the way it was. Because I had based my experience of being an access facilitator on those other modalities that I had. Nothing is the energy of access. So what I got to do is I got to actually say, hey, wow, how can I create and be even more of me, have even more of me, learn even more every day who I am and what grand and glorious adventures await me, and travel the world and be all over the world and learn new things and meet new people and have different opportunities to do more clearings, to become more undefinable, as Gary Douglas says. Once I started to shift that, things started to pop all over the world. I moved to Turkey. I moved to Thailand. things started to pop in Thailand. You know, there's not much access consciousness in Thailand. I went to Bali. I started doing more work in a different modality in China. All of a sudden, those those classes, my classes in China are full. I didn't do anything. All I did was ask. All I did was said, universe, what will it take to fill these classes for us with ease and joy and glory? And the people have shown up. And Jack, I'm here to tell you and every single one of us listening that for me, and this is my experience, I cannot explain to you. I don't have the words to tell you how much these tools change your life, how much these tools create the space and the opening to gift you everything you are asking for. What we get to do in these classes, especially the foundation, is get out of the way and allow the universe to gift to you. You know, there's a law in the universe. There's a law in the universe called ask and receive. Very easy. It's even in the Bible. Ask and ye shall receive, right? It's a law. Ask and receive. That's it. The problem is that most of us have butchered that law. We don't understand that law. We think that law is ask, work really hard, sacrifice everything you've got, stress yourself out, have a heart attack, recover, and then receive? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's ask and receive. Okay, what am I asking for? I am asking that every single one of you comes to our foundation class. There, I said it. If you haven't done the bars yet, Karen's going to be offering plenty of them between now and then. Take the bars class. I am asking that the community that you guys and that Karen has begun to build in the Philippines multiplies with 3 zeros. What would it take for that community to be the biggest community in Southeast Asia? What would it take for people from all over the region to come to us, to be a part of this? Why am I saying that? Because I know, and I tell you in every single cell of my body, I want for you what I have chosen myself for me. I want you to know that what I have chosen for myself is available for you to choose. And it is my opportunity to show up and give you what those tools are. And for me, that's access consciousness. Okay.